What's going on, guys? Back with another video. Gonna do some bass fishing with a wacky rig senko. So I got some time to kill before I had to pick up my kid from work. Had about an hour and 45 minutes, and just thought I'd walk around this little community lake for some bass. The lake has some potential for some good-sized bass. I've seen bass from 4 pounds on up pulled out of here. Usually on, strangely enough, on black and blue jigs.
Oh my God,
but today I'm using a green and black flake senko on a rod that was much taller in a former life, and a spinning reel with a rear drag system that I've apparently forgotten how to work.
I hate rear drag systems.
It's just rear drag systems.
Besides
I need more fishing reels. If you saw in the back of my Jeep when I was pulling out those jig heads, you'd probably disagree, but for whatever reason I thought this was the best one for the job. When we get past this yellow sign, I see bass busting up on the bank, chasing after minnows. So I stay way up on the bank, so I don't want to go down and spook them, but I make the cast from probably 20 feet away up on that bank, down to where I saw it. So I'm kind of sight fishing, which you'll do that when you're finesse fishing for bass. He hits immediately, and here's a nice slow-mo of him spitting it out. He breaches the surface, spits it out. I kept it in the video just because I thought it was fun. But I make another cast down, just to make sure he's not going to come back. And then when I don't get bit, I think it's safe that I can walk down to essentially the water's edge and work the banks to the left and right. Fished out that area, nothing else was really biting me, and there's some fishermen in my way there. Make my way over here, same thing, that log sticking out of the water, sight fishing, saw him busting minnows, cast it right in, took a jig or two, but he came back and got it. And I apologize for when I hook him here. I do not mean to beat him up on these rocks, but the water's down about 8 feet. There was a leak in the spillway, so they've actually drained the lake in order to be able to fix it. I'm gonna beat him up a little bit, but he'll be okay. He seems like the resilient type. Little slow motion flip back in the water. He'll be okay. Nice entry, 9 out of 10. Readjust my wacky rig there. Like I said, I'm just using crappie hooks, crappie jig heads. I know it's probably not the proper way, but it's just what I had on hand. I usually use owner wacky rig hooks, which are stupid sharp, pretty sticky. But I wanted some weight in the middle of the senko. When you put weight in the middle of your senko, when you wacky rig it, on the way down, it gives it a lot more vibration, a little motion, better action. So I'm probably using like I don't know, maybe a quarter ounce, maybe a little bit less than that jig head. I'm not really all that sure, but up until this point here, I'm still jigging. It's probably been about an hour and 20 minutes, and I've caught 2.5 fish, and I've just jigged my ass off trying to catch bass. And it's after this fish, those people that you see over on the far bank, they finally leave, and I'm going to go work that area. So I didn't have the opportunity before. They were fishing for catfish, and they had their lines out, and I couldn't, I didn't want to get too close to them. But they leave, and I go over there, and I start dragging the senko on the bottom. There's a little slow-mo jump. Yeah, I found the slow-mo button in my editing software, so I'm having fun with that. Hey, at least there's transitions in this video. The last video went from scene to scene. It was just like cut, paste. Now there's some little fadey transitions between scenes, so I'm kind of happy about that. But anyways, I go over there and I start dragging just for a different presentation, and I start to have some luck there. So I was, like I said, I was just jigging, and then I switched to a drag. Lake is primarily a mud bottom. There's that sick transition. Primarily a mud bottom, so I guess when you drag it, maybe that day they just kind of wanted to chase something a little bit, and when you drag it on the bottom, it probably sends up a little mud cloud with some vibration. These Senkos got all these little ribs around them. It probably gives off a decent amount of vibration in the water. Here, I just hooked
Nope,
up,
I was
and
wrong.
the thought occurred to me that I need to go back and rework the areas that I was just standing at, and drag this senko for a different presentation, and I actually reel off a couple more fish out of an area that I worked pretty hard before. So it's good
I'll
stuff.
take it.
Feisty little fella.
There's got to be one down there.
Wish I would have gotten into some bigger ones today,
Down the
but
dam.
it just wasn't happening. Yeah, I think at this point, I just said I got 20 minutes of daylight left, and I'm able to reel off a couple more fish just by changing the action of how I retrieve that senko back in. You see the reels. You know, I'm not jigging at all. I'm just slow crank on the bottom. No shimmies, and we hook up. I think this is the best fish of the day, and that's not really saying much, but hell, I'm happy to catch anything.
Here's a good one.
If this was I'm just happy to catch anything. He gave a valiant effort. No cool jumps out of the water though, but he was the largest of the day.
Oh, he just threw my senko.
And he just sent my senko off into oblivion. I should have slow-moed it to see where it went, but
Well,
I
he's the best
didn't.
one today. Thank you.
It's not bad. Cute little guy. Release. Now I'm on my last. I'm using a Strike King shimmy stick. It's I guess pumpkin or green. I don't know what they call it. Pumpkin is green, but green with black fleck. I'm on my last
I
one.
know it's
I had another pack of the shimmy sticks, but it was green and red fleck. But as far as I know, there's no crawfish in this lake. So I mean, there's no shad in it either. But I use shad lures all the time to catch them, so I guess it wouldn't have stopped me. I mean, it's not like there's anything else in this lake that the fish naturally eat that looks like a senko. So I guess you could use just about whatever. I'm not sure what senkos are supposed to represent, but this is the last fish of the day.
Damn, these
Yeah,
guys
it was fun. It was a good day. So if you guys
barely hooked.
go
Just barely.
buy a pack of senkos, they're like
Relax.
$3, 3 and change,
Relax.
and you can just use any old hook you got laying around. Doesn't have to be fancy. And go to the local pond, catch you some fish. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Last fish of the day. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment.